exactly. Yeah. Look, I like to say that, and that's, I mean, hospitality is such a hard game, right? And you're right. There's 3 A's to change. So you've got awareness, acceptance, and action. And the question on the lips of most people I meet, most business owners, is where's all the cash, right? They like, what? Why is there no cash in the bank? Where is all the cash? You're telling me I'm making a profit. I've got no cash. And what you said there, people are not aware that it's those 5 levers that we need to pull to affect it. And usually we'll have a little pain in all 5. And that leads us to having these cash flow problems and ending up with not enough money to pay the bills, really, Yeah.
Talking with the experts.
Hello, my name's Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com, and welcome to Talking with the Experts, where my guest today is Jeannie Doherty, and we'll be talking all things bookkeeping, business, and pulling money out of your business. It's a good thing. Anyway, Jeannie runs a strategic bookkeeping practice on the Gold Coast. Lucky girl. Jeannie has a unique business background, having been raised by high-profile, successful retail entrepreneurs, and she was privileged to attend the School of Hard Knocks and learn from the ground up what it takes to truly scale a business. Jeannie has dedicated herself to product innovation in her industry, to develop methodologies with a foundation in numbers to help her clients transform their business from surviving to thriving. Jeannie's niche is working dads, primarily trades and services, and because of this, she's passionate about the impact her work can have on families. Helping families thrive is what helps her get out of bed in the morning. Personally, Jeannie is a proud mum, lover of Latin dance, and an advocate for putting your health first. Welcome to Talking with the Experts, Jeannie, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Rose, for having me on.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit how you got into the bookkeeping thing. It takes a special kind of person, I think, to become a bookkeeper.
It does, and I feel like I'm not that person. I'll tell you, because although maybe women end up in this position similar to me, I was in heavy-duty business operations, hence helping a business scale from 10 to 100 million. Loved it. But then I was going to have a little baby, and I thought, what can I do aligned with my skill set that will be flexible, work from home, but all businesses need it? And I thought, I'm going to narrowly focus on bookkeeping. So that's what I did. And, I never knew I would love it this much, and I want to turn the whole world into bookkeepers.
Yeah, so I'm not a numbers person. I'm more of a word person, but yeah, numbers never really interested me. And I know when we had a business on the Gold Coast, I used to hate doing the BAS. I used to hate doing anything with numbers. It was gross.
Yeah, right. And I have worked with them all my life. I was thrown into them young when everything was still, was really manual. But I did always like the order. So I like that there's a beginning, a middle, an end that we balance and reconcile, and then we start again. And these days my team does most of that. And I focus on the really high level business operations strategy with my clients. But I just spent a couple of hours yesterday doing Q&A around all this stuff. And it was really great to just stay in touch with all that numbers-based stuff, when a lot of my time these days is spent on what I call the boss side, business operations specialty. Yep.
Yeah. So we were speaking before we came on about your book, and there's 5 steps to taking money out of your business. So tell me
Yes.
about the 5 steps first, and then we'll discuss your book.
Yeah, sure. Lovely. So yes, there are 5 definitive ways to pull cash and profit out of your business. And this is like a how-to, the rules of the game. So listen up. It's not a kind of a negotiable. This is really black and white. So it's an acronym. So it's a word SERPy. So a SERPy is an acronym, and it stands for sales, expenses, receivables, payables, and inventory. Would you like me to expand on each one?
Yes, that would be great. Yeah, that's obviously
Okay.
the 5 steps. So yeah.
Yes, awesome. So step 1, sales. The first way to pull more profit or cash out of your business is to really increase your sales. Now you might be thinking, well, that's obvious. What I want to say, and I expand on this a little bit in my book and give you some really cool templates, is that when you're looking to increase your sales, I'd really encourage you, rather than scratching your head and thinking high level, like, well, I better go engage a big marketing agency. I want you to stop and think about marketing 101, and that is also the diamonds at your feet. So who are you working with right now, and are you keeping in touch with them? Are we putting our manners on and saying, hey, like, let's just say that you install air conditioners for a living. Are you remembering to just reach out and say, hi, Sally, how's the air conditioner going? You know, marketing 101, keeping in touch with the people that already know, like, and trust us. So all those really basic marketing activities that we should be doing before we go throwing money at things that don't always work, right? So that's sales, increase your sales. Expenses, reduce your expenses is the next way. So what I would say about that is that the best way to reduce your expenses when you're a business owner is to actually sit down at least once a month. So once a month is perfect. So middle of the month, bring up that profit and loss. And I've got videos on my YouTube channel, everything to help you bring up that profit and loss. Just have a look at the 12 months that was all the time, every month, and have a look at those expenses, so you can kind of incrementally, month on month, work out what could we actually do without, what could we consolidate. And an example of that I would use would be in my business. So it was probably about 12 months ago, and I did exactly that exercise, and I thought, you know what, we use Dropbox Enterprise and it's fantastic and I love it, but Google has improved a lot. We're already using their platform as well. Their privacy policy is great now. I think I could amalgamate, I could cut Dropbox out, and I'm going to save a couple of $1,000s a year. So if you're always doing that exercise, the other thing is you might have subscribed to things you don't know about, and if you're not paying attention to the numbers, you'll be paying for things that you're not aware that you're paying for. So the third one that I'm really passionate about is receivable days. So that is your customer payment terms. So we see lots of businesses, and I'll use the air conditioning installer as an example again. So they make the sale, they go out, they do the work, and they fail to collect the money. That may be because they're running an account. That may be because they just decided they thought Mrs. Jones was good for the money. Australians are second only to Nigeria for how bad we are as payers. And so making sure, number one, that you collect the money, but number two, that your terms are as good as possible. Almost every business owner I meet, like I would say 80% of them, I'm able to challenge them to set better terms, to get more deposits up front, to get payment up front, to set invoice reminders, and the cash comes in. Okay, so this is an easy one, but it's one that is sending a lot of Aussie businesses broke. So please, your receivables, focus on that. The fourth one is payable. So that's paying out. So that is paying your bills, your staff, the ATO, that kind of thing. So when it comes to your suppliers, have you negotiated the best terms? When it comes to your team, are you paying them on a Monday after the week closes? Because if you need better cash flow, you might want to consider having a fortnightly payroll and paying them on the Thursday. Boom, you've got 10 or so days more cash flow. And the receivable and payable days is also about, are we getting the money from our customers before we pay our staff and our suppliers and the ATO? Because if we're not, we've got a cash flow nightmare, And cash flow, lack of cash flow will send a profitable business broke. Okay. That can be a little bit confusing. So what I tend to say is just trust me, follow the recipe and get the result. So then the very last one is for businesses that are selling stock. So that's inventory days. And that's actually the same in that, are we paying for our inventory ahead of paying our suppliers? Because that's a big no-no. And I was chatting to a food retailer recently, and he said to me, well, when I buy the food that I buy, it's really great, Jeannie, because it has a long shelf life, so I can put it on the shelf and it doesn't matter if it doesn't sell. And I said, because you're going to pay your supplier and therefore your bank has no money in it anymore. And me as the numbers person, I'm not going to be happy about that. So that is inventory. And that is the 5 definitive ways to pull cash and profit out of your business. And you can also find that on our website as an article for you to use as a little how-to.
Perfect. I know we were, when we had our business up on the Gold Coast, we often had cash flow problems because we didn't follow those 5 principles. Because we were mainly cash business, so so as soon as it came in, it went out basically, because we paid our suppliers every single day, nearly, when they came in.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like we could really budget for anything. So yeah, it's a difficult journey with the cash business. I know when we were doing it, I think it's much more difficult to do those 5 steps if you're not aware of it, that's what you should be doing.
Exactly. Yeah. Look, I like to say that, and hospitality is such a hard game, right? And you're right. There's 3 A's to change. So you've got awareness, acceptance, and action. And the question on the lips of most people I meet, most business owners, is where's all the cash, right? They like, what? Why is there no cash in the bank? Where is all the cash? You're telling me I'm making a profit. I've got no cash. And what you said there, people are not aware that it's those 5 levers that we need to pull to affect it. And usually we'll have a little pain in all 5. And that leads us to having these cash flow problems and ending up with not enough money to pay the bills, really, Yeah.
Yeah, it was a challenge when it came to payday on Mondays. We had a great bumper weekend, but by the time you banked the money, and then you had all these bills up on the wall, so you write the checks out for them, and then staff came and, oh shit, there's no money for the staff, and so you'd have to wait until hopefully that night before they came on shift, or during the day, that you'd earned enough money to pay them their money. It was just like a progressive thing until we woke up to the fact that we couldn't do that anymore, because we just weren't. Yeah, you're right. We just couldn't see the cash in the bank, and there should have been a shitload in there.
I know. And that payroll one, look, it's one that, I tell you, I could sing it from the rooftops, and I was with a client yesterday, and they were telling me that they said, our pay is a week, we pay each other people weekly, and they said, and we pay them on a Wednesday. Now I assume they meant the Wednesday after that week. They meant the Wednesday before the payroll even finished. And I said, okay, so I recommend that you do it fortnightly. And also for the business owners out there, you will have, even if you don't have a bookkeeper now, there's going to come a time you're going to want a bookkeeper. Even I have a bookkeeper. I'm a bookkeeper who has a bookkeeper. And guess what? If you are paying a bookkeeper to do your payroll and you make it fortnightly, you've just halved the cost. And so, I said to them, it would be amazing if they could go fortnightly with the payroll and then pay the Thursday after it closes. And for a business like theirs, like I would in any business where the wheels are spinning, give the team 3 months notice that you're going to do that, so that you can manage the 20% of them that are going to struggle because they are living a little bit paycheck to paycheck. But it's worth getting through the short-term pain for the long-term gain of all you're going to know as a business owner. If you implement those 5 strategies, if you just list them out and go about just doing one little thing every day to influence them, what will happen in 12 months' time when you've made these little changes? is rather than look in the bank and go, oh my God, I'm so stressed and losing sleep that night, and how am I going to pay the bills? And also asking yourself, I pay tax. The business is profitable. Why have I got no cash? 12 months later, you're going to go, there's always cash in the bank, right? So, yeah, I love a good system, right, Rose? Give me a good system. I don't even need to fully understand it. I'll just follow it and let the magic happen. And that's what I think surfing is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think as business owners, we started our business and had no clue about anything. And so, yeah, we shouldn't have been probably in business in the first place, because you really should have some knowledge about payroll and, profit and loss and all those sorts of things. I mean, just do a mini course just to get your head around it, because, it was like a huge learning curve for me.
Yes, I've written to that.
On top of everything else, yeah. So my advice, if you're going to start a business, make sure that you know something about bookkeeping.
Yeah, that's right. I've actually I wrote to the treasurer once, and I said, you let people go online and get an ABN and start a business. Could you just get them to do a short course along with that for free? You've actually got all the stuff you need to put that little course together, or I'll do it for you if you like, to help these poor business owners understand that they're now tax collectors, and also just to how to manage just these little things, especially cash flow. And it's a kind of a fancy word that, but really it just means, I like to say, if you're always getting the money ahead of paying your from your customers, ahead of paying your suppliers and your staff, etc., and you're reserving enough money to replace things that are broken, etc. Because, in the fish and chip shop, for example, you are going to have to reserve money for assets and things ongoing. The cash flow is really about getting the money from the customers before you've got to disperse it to everyone else and have the little bit left over for you. And the business that I helped grow from 10 to 100 million, they actually had a lot of good systems on that. So they had probably Australia's best buyer at the time, and he was the stock turns were so low. They never paid for stock before it was at a customer's house and we had that money. So that's what really kept them really cash flow positive, and that's what helped them to grow. So big or small micro business or big $100 million business, these principles are the same, and they're not my principles. They're time-tested principles that I try and just serve up in a little bit more common language.
Yeah, I think they're absolutely great that everyone should be following them.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't be a dumbass like us and get into business and not know what you're doing.
I know, we've all done it. And sometimes I get clients say, oh, but Jeannie, I don't want to change the payroll. And I think that's fine, but you can't whinge about your cash flow if you're not going to pull that lever, if you're not going to influence that change. And I don't want to be a plumber with leaky taps. So everything that I ask you to do, I do myself. And if I ever misbehave, I give myself a slap on the hand. And, recently I did misbehave. I wasn't turning up to my virtual CFO meetings, just like my clients come to. And, I stopped getting the results my clients got. And I looked at one of the clients and I'm like, oh, look at that result she got just from going to virtual CFO. And I said, that's it. I'm coming back, So follow the system, right? And there's a magic that happens. Yeah.
Absolutely. So tell me the name of your new book and a little bit what's in it. So we'll get all these people interested and they'll go out and buy it.
Yes, lovely. And we're doing a bit of a sneak peek. So in the next week or so, and probably by the time this goes live, you'll be able to get a complimentary copy of the first few chapters, which are really powerful. So it's called Thriving Lifestyle Business, How to Get Cashed Up, Optimize Your Profit and Build Your Dream Business and Life. So who doesn't want that? And it's, so not only does it have, so basically it's got a chapter in there about mistakes and misconceptions. So that one's really, really important because you're going to be able to read about those and then avoid them and have some really great aha moments around those. And then it's going to give you also a top 10. It's also going to have a planning section in there with, now this book is designed it's not fluff. I keep all the fluff out. I'm keeping it short and sweet. It's designed to be in your back pocket as a how-to guide. I've got links in there to the most high value templates for you. So planning templates that are just going to skyrocket your productivity. I've even got a whole chapter that will help you develop a strategic foundation around your marketing, a marketing playbook, and wrap it all up. And then we go into what I call strategic bookkeeping. So that's a 5-step method that will help you to optimize that profit and cash, and it goes into exactly what to do. And then I actually help you with pulling it all together and introduce you to business operations, habits, and mindset to really wrap it up. But yeah, I keep it very, I keep the fluff out, and it's all about the reader. I like to say it's not about me, hence there's no fluff in it, and I'm just interested in the value that it can give to you. So jump on to our website and grab yourself the first few chapters for free.
Absolutely, great. So what is your website?
So we are cloud9strategic.com.au, and it's the number 9, so cloud9strategic.com.au. We've got heaps of cool free stuff on there, and the blog section, you know, it is a bit of a how-to. We write I personally write all of them myself, and they're very, very powerful tools for business. Follow our socials. We publish so much free stuff on there, and just to help everyone thrive. Yeah.
Especially now, business owners are needing that free stuff to help them navigate their financial way out of what's been happening. It's, it's so hard for them all. Every business owner, I think it's not just hospitality owners. I think it's just everyone in general.
It is, and we just don't know what's going to happen, and that's right. So business owners should be able to get access to really great stuff from zero to a fee. And I don't like trading time for money anyway. I like trading money for outcomes, so business owners should be able to access what was once reserved for the big profit, big business at much better prices, or free now because we've got the internet. So definitely jump on, and we've got a digital diagnostic scorecard that you can use. You can also register to attend one of our mastermind events that we run weekly for clients, and jump in and just get a whole lot of free info there as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's terrific. Thank you so much for sharing it, Jeannie. Have you got a podcast? Are you thinking about starting one?
Yes, I'm sitting in a room right now that I've set up. It's a video, camera, podcast. So probably starting the Thriving Lifestyle Business podcast, just to complement the book and go down that track. Yeah.
Yeah, I think people that have got knowledge like you are mad not to have a podcast and just share what they have.
Thank you.
Everyone, I think... podcasts, I think, are a business owner's dream.
Yes, I think so. I mean, I listen to them and love them. Sometimes I think, Jeannie, you're addicted. And, I listen to podcast pros like yours, and sometimes I think, was that free? Was that content free? Do you know what I mean? I just made and saved money out of that. That's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the whole idea about mine, that business owners will go and make more money. That's, they'll learn something and make more money.
Yes, make and save money. That's what I say in the book. One of my objectives is that I want to see every reader make and save money. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's the way to go in life. All right. So have you got any last wise words?
Last wise words. Please, if your bookkeeping is not up to date, so if you've found that you've fallen behind, I want to tell you that it's like the foundation of your house. So your number one job after listening to this podcast is to jump on our website, get some tips, tricks, and hacks on how to bring your bookkeeping up to date. If you need to talk to us, but do whatever you need to do to bring your bookkeeping up to date. It's the foundation of everything.
Yeah, it absolutely is. If you don't know where you are financially, I think you're a bit lost.
Yes, definitely flying blind. Yeah.
All right, Jeannie, thank you so much for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure. And good luck with the book launch.
Thanks, Rose.
See ya.
Talking with the experts.